Hi everyone, welcome to my very small little corner here on YouTube where I share with you everything that I make with yarn. Mostly knitting, some crochet and some weaving that I show from time to time. I thought today was a good day to quickly check in with all of you and show you what I'm busy with at the moment. My name is Adela and I live in Pretoria in South Africa, and it seems that summer is back. So as you can see, I'm still in short sleeves. This is a summer tee I knitted on just my own recipe. I talked about it a few times in a few episodes back while I was making it. I think in the beginning of summer, if I remember correctly, somewhere last year, I think, or the beginning of this year. Time is flying by so quickly I can't even remember. But it's just freestyled with little eyelets and a very mock cables, very small little mock cable between the eyelets, and I've done that in the Oneofakind yarns Urenda base, which is a blend of bamboo and cotton. So yes, let's get started. As you can see, I treated myself to a new couch where I can sit and craft, and it's very comfortable and very kind to my back. I found that the chair that I used previously wasn't comfortable for my back, so I had to make some changes and I'm happy with what I got. So let's get started. Let me show you what I've done. I've last year, I think, let me just quickly get my book. Sorry for the noise and the funny pose. I got myself this book. It's just a plain notebook, and it's got these dividers. I got them from a food chain store here in South Africa, Pick n Pay, I think 2 years ago already. And I decided to write down when I start my projects and when I finish them. I'm trying my utmost to remember to write it down, and I've been good so far. But unfortunately, I started this ripple crochet blanket long before I started writing down when I started projects. I think it must have been round about April 2022 when I started this blanket. It's I used the neat ripple pattern by Attic 24 and Oneofakind, not only Oneofakind yarns, mostly Oneofakind yarns and some Calgal blues mostly, in the 2-ply super twist merino. And it was supposed to be a big blanket, but then summer came and I put it away because it was too hot to work on it. And then I decided I'm not feeling it anymore. I don't want to complete a big blanket in it. So I'm just going to make a baby blanket and put it away for when it's appropriate to gift it to someone. So it's quite a generous sized baby blanket. So all I did is I did one more repeat of the 3 row. I did 3 rows per color. So I did one more repeat, and then so the stripes will go in the length, is now in the length of the blanket. then I decided it's a good size, and I just took a tonal grey color, and I just did half double crochets and then I think a row of single crochet. So I finished a project that I just didn't have the feeling for completing it or making it into a big blanket anymore. So that's okay. It's okay to do that. So I will put it away now, and then somewhere I will find someone that I can gift it to. That is the baby blanket. And then I also decided that I must be less of a lazy grandma and knit my grandson sweater for winter. And so I used the Flax worsted pattern. Don't think I have it here at the moment. Don't know where it is. But I'm sure you all know the Flax by Tincanknits. It's a free pattern, and it's got sizes from 0 months child size to large man size sweater sizes to knit. So I did the 4 to 6 years. And I used Oneofakind yarns, very deep stash. It's a 4-ply DK, almost. It's I won't say it's a worsted. It might be a light worsted, but it's got 4 plies, and this is what I have left of the 2 skeins. So I just did stripes. I was a bit I knew that people said it might be an issue, the neckline for toddlers. So I did this with a 4mm so that it's nice, loose and stretchy. If it's too loose or if it stretches out too much, I might take it back and just rip out this neckband, and I've got enough of this blue to knit a little bit tighter neckband. So we'll see how it goes. And then I just added some stripes. And on the sleeves. So yes, it's a 1x1 ribbing. And for the 1x1 ribbing, I always turn my work inside out, because the wrong side of my 1x1 ribbing is always neater. So I turn my work inside out so that the wrong side will be on the outside. So it is now ready to give it to him, and hopefully he can wear it at least this winter. We'll have to see, because it is 4 to 6 years, but I don't know how fast he will grow or what. But if he wears it for 1 year, 1 winter, it's fine. It took me 8 days to knit this, but really just a little bit here and a little bit there. I didn't work on it all the time. I worked on my other projects, and I waited for, because I knitted the body in 4.5 and not the 5mm as per the pattern, because I know that superwash can stretch. So I used a 4.5, and I then realized that I like to use the Chiagu bamboo needles, and then that new metal silver metal cable for magic loop for my sleeves, and I didn't have a 4.5mm, so I had to wait for that to knit my sleeves. I sometimes use my tulip needles, but if I have chia goose, then I just use them for the sleeves, because the cable is a bit more it bends easier than the tulip cord. So yeah, then I waited for that, and then I knitted the sleeves. So it was on and off for just over a week. So it really goes so quickly, and it's very nice yarn to knit with as well. So it was an enjoyable project and a quick one. So that is what I finished. So what I'm working on at the moment is still on my Betha. Last time I can't remember where I was last time, but I think I showed you that I finished the sleeves. I'm sure of that. So the sleeves are still on hold, and I knitted both sleeves. This is the one sleeve, and that is the other sleeve. And then I've got the sticks in between, so I will just reinforce it a little bit, and then cut it open, and then just seam the sleeves. But this is on hold for in case I want to add a little bit of length to the sleeves, and then I will knit the cuffs, the ribbing, right at the end when everything is seamed, and I can properly see how long my sleeves has to be. Then I can knit the cuffs to the length that I want it. So that is my two sleeves, and I did make some progress on the body. So the original pattern of the Betha is in parts. You knit it flat, and then you have to seam it up. So I'm not going to do, I prefer to knit color work in the round. I don't really like purling in Fair Isle knitting. So I decided to just do it all in the round, and then I will have a stick here that I will cut. So I will cut it open there. So I knitted a ribbing band, and then yeah, I think when I showed it to you last, I've just knitted this ribbing. I've just completed this, I remember now. So this is the progress that I've made so far. And it's in Rowan felted tweed. I showed you the colors last time, and I'm using my tulip I'm using 3.5 needles and not 3.25 as in the pattern. So my gauge is about 27 stitches where the pattern asks for 29 stitches. So I just had to make some calculations, and I'm now trying to decrease a little bit. So I've done 3 sets of decreases. The pattern repeat is 12 stitches. So I've decreased 12 stitches in this plain few rows, and there as well, and then up here as well. So yes, I've decreased 36 stitches so far, and I hope it's enough. Otherwise I will maybe decrease one set of 12 stitches again before I put in the stitches for my armholes. I just don't want it, because it's a drop shoulder, I don't want it to be that oversized, because I have a 15 centimeter difference between my widest part and my bust. So I don't really need that extra 15 centimeters on the upper part of my body. So I'm trying to decrease a little bit. I think I've shown I don't have the book with me at the moment, and my notes, the pattern is so so many notes on it. So there it is. So as you can see, it is quite oversized with a drop shoulder, but I don't want it to be that I don't want it to be completely, I don't want to completely drown in it. Let me say it. That's the words I was looking for. So I hope it will work out. I'm sure it will be wearable. It might not be perfect, but I'm sure it will be wearable. I'm still enjoying it very much. And I think I'm through the pattern repeat now. So I have to do at least this part before I can measure exactly if I have to do some more rows before putting in the sticks for the armholes. So it's still quite a lot of knitting to be done, but I am enjoying it, and I'm doing other projects in between, because you can't work on one project all the time, and I did need a little bit of a change. So I just one day decided I'm going to start the Ranunculus, and that I've made some progress on that because it's on 6mm needles. So I don't know how the black is going to show up on the screen. No, it's very difficult to capture. Black is very difficult to capture, but I do like how the stitch pattern is knitted up in this yarn. Impossible to show. It is the Concept by Katia in the cotton merino. And this color, I bought this years ago, and on this band the color is 050, but when I look it up, it doesn't, there isn't this color doesn't have this color code anymore. It's got a different code. So I don't think I'm going to buy anymore. I've got 9, I had 9 balls in total. So I'm just going to knit mine up to when my yarn is finished. I do want it, I don't do crop, as you know by now, if you are a returning viewer. So I'm going to knit the body at least up to the length that I wanted. I've measured last night, and I think I will use about 2 balls more. It's only 50-gram balls for the body. Then I've only got 2 left for the sleeves. So I might do a sleeve, maybe a 3/4 sleeve, maybe a short sleeve, I'm not sure yet. And then I will just wear a t-shirt underneath. I will probably have to wear something underneath because the holes are quite big, as you can see here. And it is a thicker yarn, a heavier weight yarn. I am using the 6mm bamboo needles. They are, although I do not like to knit with needles this big, I must say this does make it easier because they are very light and easy to work with. But I don't think I will use them again soon when this Ranunculus is done. I'm sure you all know the pattern by now. It is a bit of a looser garment. And I think she wants you to start with the neck ribbing in the same size, the 6mm needles. I didn't do that because I do not like that stretched out neckline. I just don't like it. So I did my neck ribbing with 4.5 needle. And so I think I added 10 more stitches to what the pattern tells you to cast on, because I started with a 4.5, a much smaller needle, and then I went to the 6mm needle, and I didn't do the short rows in the front. I only did it in the back. And I think I've still got the old pattern. I bought this in July 2019 already. So I did get a pattern update, but I didn't even, I didn't really look at it, because there was an update, a separate update a long time ago after I bought the pattern for the different sizes, and then she rewrote the whole pattern and made an update again. So I do have it in the different sizes, and I think I just want to see what size. Yeah, I think I went up to the 97cm, 38-inch bust, the amount of stitches for that one. And then I might have added increased a few more stitches for the arms, for the sleeves, just to make that a little bit bigger. So yes, I'm between the 38 centimeter and the 38 inch and the 40 inch, the 97 centimeter and the 102 centimeter. I'm between those two sizes, but I am increasing a little bit here. I think every 12 to 14 rows I'm adding 2 stitches on each side, just to make it a little bit of an A-line, so that I have the same fit for my wider part than I have for my bust. I'm sorry, it's the sun just went behind the clouds and it is already afternoon, so the lighting might be a bit funny at the moment. But that is the, now it's impossible to see. That is my Ranunculus. So that was I needed a little bit of a change from the Betha. The Betha is by Marie Wallin. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I do put the info below the video. So if there's anything that I forget to mention and it's not in the notes below this video, please then feel free to ask me in the comments. And then just a last thing that I can show you that I started is just a little, I'm just knitting a little baby blanket. This is a very pretty stitch marker by Annegret from Pincushion Crafts. And I'm just doing a corner to corner garter stitch blanket. It will be a baby blanket for a little girl that is expected in August, early August. It will be my second grandchild. So I just wanted something very simple, and I had this yarn in my stash also for a very long time. It's also a 4-ply DK. I've got these tonal colors, and then I also have some with a little bit of color in them. So I'm just alternating bands of the tonal with bands of these different speckled yarns. I am using the the tips and tricks from the My Favorite Blanket by Kay Jones. You can find all of that on the Bakery Bears YouTube channel. She started the blanket in the beginning of the year in January. So I'm just using her increase method, and but I'm not going, she's busy with some eyelet patterning now. I'm not going to do that. I'm just doing plain garter. It will not be a very big blanket. I don't have a lot of this yarn, but I think I do have enough. But I think it will only be used, say, in August and maybe in September. So in the first 2 months of the little one, this will be used, and then it will probably be too hot for this because it's 100% merino. So I don't want to make it too big, and it's going to be very plain. I'm not going to do anything, because the way that Kay Jones show you to do the increases and the decreases is very neat. So I'm not going to do anything with the edging of the blanket. So this is just some mindless knitting. I'm using my tulips again, 4.25 millimeter. I think Tulip is the only brand that does have, or that does make 4.25 millimeter needles, and I find them for this thickness of yarn. I find the 4.25 millimeter works quite well, because it is going to, when I wash it, it is going to relax a lot, but I also don't want it to stretch out too much. So yes, I think that is what I have to show you. It's again a shorter one, but as I said, I am trying to keep my works in progress, or the items that I work on, to the minimum. I haven't done anything on my brioche shawl since I showed you last time, because I did the flax, and I made quite some good progress on my Betha and on the Ranunculus. So yeah, the shawl I will get back to it. It's not a priority for me at the moment. It's just a very nice relaxing project that I can pick up whenever I feel like it and work a little bit on it. But in winter I feel a kind of an urgency to knit some wearable items, sweaters and cardigans. I'm really sorry about the lighting. As I say, it's a bit overcast and it's afternoon already. So, and we've got huge trees outside, and the sun is already behind that big trees. So I hope it's not too bad for you, or it wasn't too bad for you. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, and thank you very much for being here and for the support. And I would really appreciate it if you can maybe like and subscribe, and that way I can maybe try and grow my channel a little bit. Thank you very much. See you next time.